time. And oh no! Oh shit. I really don't know how to start this, and I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just kind of winging it right now. So let's get straight to the point. For those who didn't know, I made it a goal that if I reach 500 subscribers, I would be answering your guys' questions, and believe it or not, we reached that goal! So thank you! I doubt all of you watch me, but I appreciate every single one of you, so thank you. So I had some posts up on different platforms for, I had them open for about a week to let you guys put in your questions, and I will answer them. So I wasn't gonna answer everybody's questions at first, but I am a people pleaser and I appreciate you guys so much where I'm gonna answer all of them. I don't care. We'll try and speed through this. It'll be the ultimate speed run, but I will try to answer them best of my ability. So anyways, let's get started, shall we? The first question is from my beloved boyfriend, Skyhawk JD, and he asks, why are you so pretty? I don't know, dude. Why do you look like handsome Shrek? I mean, to be fair, I look like Fiona, so we are the perfect match made from heaven. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know how to answer this. Shave my legs, use shampoo and conditioner, foundation, just look like a person, I guess. I'm not a supermodel, but thank you so much for the flattery comments. I love you. Now marry me already, so I can get the hell out of here. Put that ring on my finger and I'll be your pretty wife. How about that? Love you, babe. Thanks for your question. So moving on, I'm gonna focus a little bit on questions about YouTube and the channel itself. Jacob Wolf Spirit asks me, are you going to do more videos than live streams? Also, what was your best live stream you did? I don't think I'm gonna do more videos than live streams. As I'm recording this, I've been fumbling on my words like crazy. I don't know what it is about making videos, but as I'm recording right now, I don't know why I'm struggling so hard. I've had to re-record so many answers already. This is just hard. I don't know, like live streaming seems so much easier. I know it should sound more difficult, but when I'm live and I'm talking with the chat just in real time, it feels so much more natural talking to you and answering you. But when I'm recording, it's like I need to think harder and it's difficult. I mean, the little edits I do, those are fun, but live streaming is just too easy. I just enjoy it. I enjoy, again, being in the moment with everyone. As for my favorite live stream, there's been a lot of really good live streams. I would have to say one of the recent ones, the Frosty Fest, where I was on Team Presence. I did a whole marathon that weekend, at least the first couple streams that weekend. I don't think I've had over 100 viewers in one stream before. Like, counting how many people viewed it, which to me, that was just an insane amount. And like, we were having just a really good time communicating with my chat, my friends that were in the voice call. I was just having a really great time. I like, hands down, it was really fun. And I know I've had a lot of fun live streams like that in the past, and there's just too many to count, but I mean, moments like those is what makes live streaming such a fun hobby. There isn't really such a thing as best live stream. It's just I go live and we have a good time. That is it. Thank you for your question though. I appreciate it. So now we have a question from Lana, also known as Fawful305. Really good friend. Check her out. She makes videos too. She does live streaming similar to what I do, but better. She's better than me, so please give her love and support. Anyways, let me answer your question, Lana. What is a video you've always wanted to try and make on YouTube? You see, I kind of reached the point where I'm pretty satisfied with what I've made. Flipping back to the previous question, I still want live streaming to be the main focus on my channel. Like, I make those little montages of picking a Splatfest team. I do like a fun montage of like a good moment from a game I played, like the recent one, the 333X battle. Let's go. And I like to edit little funny moments too, just to bring out some laughs. It's just a lot of like just gaming edits of games I like to play, and it's fun. It's something I've wanted to do for a very long time in my life, considering I grew up watching a lot of gamers on YouTube and all that. But if there's some kind of video that I kind of wish I could make, it would have to be like animation, but animation, oh yeah, I got no experience with that, that's for sure. I am, however, working on a picture music video. It's supposed to have something to do with like my stories, specifically Time Will Tell. I do have some questions later on, and I will get to them. That's something I'm kind of working on behind the scenes. I'm kind of doing in between all the stuff that I'm doing. It's a never-ending battle, guys. But it's gonna be really good. I don't know when it's gonna be done. I only got like maybe 4 frames drawn out of I don't know how many. I really lost count. I really need to keep track of numbers, but it's gonna take a while. But that's what I got. Thank you for your question, Lana. I appreciate it. Appreciate you a lot. The next question is from Zappy Dapples, and they ask, do you play with viewers? Yes and no. I mostly stick with my my circle of friends. Like, it just gets to the point where I don't feel the need to play with everybody. Even if they ask me, I just kind of stick with the people I already know. Stay in my lane, and if I run into a viewer, let's say, you know, a game of Splatoon, I'm like, hey, hi, you know, GG's, but we're not friends, okay? Don't assume that we're friends already, all right? Every once in a while, I do get out of my comfort zone, and like that one time I did try to create a pool, even though for some reason nobody could get in. I don't know why, but I tried. But maybe one of these days I'll do more of those where I just play with viewers. Otherwise, I mean, majority of the time, just expect me to stick with people I already know, I already play with all the time. Just my mutuals, my buddies, my friends. Thank you for your question. I'm really bad at answering. Oh my gosh, why did I do this? Why did I do a Q&A? Why? Why did I do it? So now we're gonna dip our legs, our feet, So now we're gonna dip our feet into some Splatoon questions. This one is from Taylor Switch 64. By the way, he is a really, really great friend of mine. We go way back. Please support him. He makes some really awesome artwork in regards to Super Smash Brothers, especially. He's a great friend. Please check him out. But anyways, let me answer your question, Taylor. If Splatoon 1 got a remake in the new Nintendo system with special features that wasn't in the original, would you buy it? Now, here's the thing. Splatoon is a franchise where every new game that comes out, there's always something new. There's always bigger upgrades and more features to it. So you might as well just call it Splatoon 4, in my opinion, if you were to do that. What I think would be better is if it's just a straight up port. They could port it kind of like what they did with the 64 games, the SNES. Please don't make us pay $50. Please, Nintendo. I know you're greedy, but come on. Come on, these are really, really old games. Why do we have to? I don't know if you want to add anything into it. I think it should just play out like the original game, because then adding stuff just kind of takes away that, you know? So just a port would be all we need. Thank you for your question, Taylor. Appreciate you, man. Next question is from Marshadow Reaper, another very good friend of mine. He asks me, what got you into Splatoon? Oh boy, where do I begin? It all started when I got my Nintendo Switch. Back when I got my Nintendo Switch, I only had like Mario Odyssey and then freaking Minecraft. I decided I was gonna get 2 more games, and I got Breath of the Wild, of course, but then I was like, I need another game. A good friend of mine, still a good friend to this day, one of my closest friends, Hydra Knight, you'll know him by, recommended me Splatoon 2. Said, trust me, Jen, you're gonna love this game. Like, do it. So I did. I got the game. When I first played it, I was like, it was very iffy. And then I did kind of step away from it for a little while until, I remember it perfectly. It was that Splatfest that was going on. It was the Squids versus Octopus. And I I decided to participate. And it was my first Splatfest ever. And let me tell you, that was the best decision I ever made because I was just flat out hooked when I participated in that event. It was just awesome. It was like the game, it's nighttime. There's awesome music. You're going up against these other teams and fighting for which one is better, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's like the elections, but more chaotic. That's really hard to say. Wow, you know, these elections were really, you know, I'm not gonna go there. I don't know why I said that. But then after that, I was never the same again. That game really impacted me a lot. And yeah, to this day, got Splatoon 3. But between then, I did get Splatoon 1, but the game was like already dead. It was finished. Everyone moved on to the next one. But I mean, I played until the servers were gone. The online servers are gone. RIP, rest in peace. That's kind of where my journey of Splatoon started. And it's gonna keep on growing, I think. Yeah, I think so. So thank you for your question, Reaper. Tom Surtees asks me, top 5 favorite Splatfests. Oh boy, this was really, really difficult. I'm gonna try and go through this kind of quick. Number 5 was vanilla versus strawberry versus mint chocolate. That was the ice cream Splatfest. We were on team vanilla, but we had like some strawberry syrup because the bloodshed was incredible. That was even the Splatfest where, speaking of which, I just answered his question. Me and Reaper started getting closer during that time. Flipping back at that Splatfest, I swear to you, every time I went on that game, me and Reaper were teaming up. We were just hauling. We were killing it in like every mode. And I will never forget it. So number 4, money versus experience versus presents, which was the holiday theme, the Frosty Fest. Now, I know experience is probably the best answer you could give on what do you want the most for the holidays, but we went with team presents because white ink, baby, who cares? And as usual, I do a lot of streaming marathons whenever there's a Splatfest going on. I don't ever play any battles without live streaming. If you go back to our footage, it was just insane. This Splatfest was just at its peak, okay? So like the 333X, yes, we won that. You should go check that clip out. It's pretty cool. And then viewing the results together too. I mean, I said some things that, yeah, we're not gonna go there. Don't cancel me. Number 3 is wizards versus knights versus ninjas. And do I even need to explain? Look at my username. Look at my username right now. Look at my YouTube name. We were on Team Ninja and we kicked ass, so. That was the team. That was the W moment. I didn't even expect to win. But my heart was set on ninjas because obviously I can't abandon my ninjas. That victory just made it so much more better. And I had a lot of fun. Number 2 is the Grand Fest, past versus present versus future, that I think we can all agree was like the biggest event Splatoon has ever had in their games. I was on Team Future, all right. I'm aware we scored 0 points. We got our asses slammed. I know. But even with that, I had so much fun. Like a lot of my friends were pretty divided on teams. But there was still a fair majority that did go to Team Future, and we did team up a lot. It was so much fun, even though we were just, you know, getting slapped around. It was great. And then outside of battles, like the whole venue that you could run around with your character with, it was so good. Like they poured everything into this event. It's like you're at this mini concert, and it was one of those moments where it was like you had to be there. It was like you had to be there kind of moment. I didn't really care who won that Splatfest. I don't care if I got 0 points. It lives up to its name. It was one of the grandest events. And also because I lost, expect us to be the villains in Splatoon 4. So look forward to it. And if you're surprised that isn't in the number 1 spot, just personally, my number 1 Splatfest ever was Chaos versus Order in Splatoon 2. That one, man, it was like massive W's all around. specifically remember playing with my friends. We were just demolishing. Everyone says that it was rigged, like Team Order should have won. I'm sorry, but if you saw the battles that were going on my end, Chaos was just demolishing. We were unstoppable, okay? And it felt like the damn apocalypse. It was awesome. It was such a good way to end off Splatoon 2, the game that I started with. It made me emotional, especially that one stage. You guys know what I'm talking about, the final Shifty station that they gave us. We need Shifty stations back, by the way. Our massive victory just made it so much better. I'm so sorry for everyone who was on Team Order, but just as a player, as somebody who was on Team Chaos, that was the time to be alive. It was a good memory. It's a good memory. Yeah, so those are my top picks. Thank you for your question. Thank you so much, Tom. So this one is gonna be complicated. My good friend Gojirito, who, if you guys don't know, he is also my editor for both my stories, Aerodynamics and Time Will Tell. I would not have made it as far as I have without his help. He doesn't do a lot of huge changes, but he does help me a lot with like grammar, wording, getting fancy with the wording, and it really brings like more pizzazz to my work. So I can't thank him enough for all that he does. Please go and support him. He does a lot of Godzilla art and funny pictures of like his figurines and stuff. He's a really cool guy. You should check him out. Please support him, as he supports me a lot. Words can't describe how much I appreciate him. But anyways, let's move on to his question. What is your top 10 favorite anime shows of all time? And describe in good detail for your top 5. Have fun with it. Oh gosh, oh no, oh no. This is all part of his plan. He wants me to let out my inner weeb. As I'm answering his question, I'm also going to be answering Willpower 276's question, because he also asks, what series are you into? And to be honest, a vast majority of what I watch is anime nowadays. So I'm gonna also be answering you in Goji's answer. The problem with making a top 10 list right now is I've watched so much anime, and it's really hard to pick which ones are on top of the other. There's so many really good ones out there. That's why I love anime so much. They tell such amazing stories, has good quality animation most times. They're just really good. I really enjoy it. So we'll start from lowest to highest. So number 10, Inuyasha. Come on, it's a classic. Number 9, Toradora. I just really like the romance and the comedy in that show, and it's really touching. It's definitely amazing. Number 8 is Spy X Family. Normally, I don't always put shows on my lists like this when they're not finished yet, but I have no doubt that Spy X Family is something really special, and you should definitely check it out. Yeah, and actually, all of these anime that I'm listing, you should totally check out. I promise you, they're all really good. Spy X Family, it's fun. And I recently got some recent events that happened in the manga. I've been spoiled about it, so thanks, assholes. Number 7, kind of ironic, but 7 Deadly Sins. I know, people crap on it all the time. The animation downgrades later on, I know, and the story is like, iffy, but listen to me, it is, without a doubt, my kind of garbage, and I will forever love it. Number 6, The Promised Neverland. Season 1, to be exact. Season 1. Season 2? That doesn't exist. What are you talking? Just move on to the manga, please. I can't believe they ruined that. It needs a reboot. Speaking of which, reboots. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood at number 5. Now, yes, I love it. I love it so much. Like, if you want a good story with great characters, good world build, it's so good. There is a reason to this day it is still considered a masterpiece. I can't get into far detail. I'm sorry, Goji. I need to get these answers going. I don't want to say too much without spoiling it. Just check it out. Number 4, right after that, and this is kind of a shock. I put this ahead of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Demon Slayer. It tells such a simple story, yet the way it's executed is so damn great. I know, comparing this to the manga, like the animators, people who animate the show, the studio, they just go all out. They extend these scenes, and they're just so amazing to look at. The characters are so enjoyable. Like, a lot of people love Demon Slayer for the characters, I feel like. If I'm being honest. I mean, hey, I'm a Muichiro fan. Let's go Muichiro. He is my son. If you want something very immersive, if you want to just experience really well done, colorful, beautiful animation, please check out Demon Slayer. Now, when it comes to my top 3, it's like there's no contest. I know exactly which place these need to be put in. So at number 3, we got Fruits Basket, specifically the 2019 reboot. I haven't watched the early 2000s one. I heard people just like it out of nostalgia, but otherwise it focuses too much on comedy and it really just sucks away the heart and emotion that the original material has. But that's where this reboot comes into play, because it focuses on the emotion and the beauty of the story and its characters. Now, when it comes to anime, watching it in Japanese or dub, I'm kind of not really picky. I can watch it either way as long as like the dub isn't atrocious. But surprisingly, Fruits Basket is one of those where it's so hard for me to watch it in Japanese because the English, for once, the English dub does such a great job. These voice actors put their heart and soul into putting emotion into these characters. Now, something I have to bring up, and I'm not looking for pity, okay? I did watch this show maybe a year after my mom's passing. I had a friend recommend this to me, said I would really like it, and I gave it a shot, and oh my gosh, it was like therapy. I connected so much. Specifically the main character, Toru. I won't get too far into detail, but it really, like, this show will make you laugh. It'll make you cry. It takes a lot of heavy approaches. I think a lot of these shows that I'm listing, I mean, there's some very heavy approaches on certain topics. Like, they definitely take risks, and that's what I love in a good story, is where the script just takes these huge risks. I'm just rambling right now. Oh my gosh. Well, let's just leave it at this. It's a really beautiful show, and I recommend all of you to check it out. Even if you don't really necessarily watch anime, if it's not really always your thing, I still recommend it nonetheless, because who knows, you might enjoy it. It brings out a lot of character emotions, and I think it really influenced me in how I write my characters' emotions. I think Fruits Basket plays a huge role in that. Number 2 should be fairly obvious this was going to be on the list. Naruto plus Naruto Shippuden. Look at my name. Look at my username. You see that? You see that? Ninja. It's a show about ninjas, and it's so damn good. Now, the next one I'm gonna get to, I mean, that one plays a huge part too, but I think Naruto is one of those shows that really, really unlocked my love for storytelling, because Naruto just gets it. It just gets it right. You can skip through all those fillers. Get that filler list out. Skip through all the fillers. You get straight to the main story, the main plot. So good. You know what? Even the war arc, yeah, it has tons of flaws, but did it ruin it for me? No. No, it didn't. Yeah, they could have taken some different approaches, but I don't care. I still enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. Even the final battle. I can't recommend it enough. It's so good. I know my brother was really into it as a kid. I was one of those kids where I was like, nah, this looks stupid or whatever. And then I started getting into anime. I'll get to it in a moment. Something got me into anime, and then I gave Naruto a try. And I was like, this is peak. This is good. This is some good quality. Yes, feed me all of it. Naruto, hands down, love it. But what takes number 1? You should have guessed it. Attack on Titan. That was the whole start of my anime crazed obsession. I watched it when I was 13. That's probably, I'll be honest, just in my personal opinion, I don't think that's a good age to be watching this show. I did it without my parents knowing, okay? Don't tell them. I had nightmares for about a week when I started it, but the problem was I couldn't stop watching because it was so engaging, exciting, and good. It is the peak of storytelling. That show has a message that greatly describes the story it's telling. It's that the world is a cruel place, but it's also beautiful. That's exactly what Attack on Titan is. If you want a tragic but beautiful story that really digs deep, watch it. No, it's just honestly, you have not lived until you've seen Attack on Titan. So just watch it regardless. Give it a shot. And don't end it on the first episode. I promise you. Attack on Titan is a show. If you're going in blindly, you better buckle up. It is insane. And if you want to know my fascination with like really good foreshadowing, if you want to know where I get my inspiration, Attack on Titan is it. You will understand. You have not seen amazingly well executed foreshadowing until you've seen Attack on Titan. They just kill it. They just have you on the edge of your seat like constantly. And I love that feeling. As a writer, that's what I want for my audiences. I took so much influence from what Attack on Titan did because it is just so unique. There's just nothing else like it. I'm probably never gonna reach that level of peakness like Attack on Titan did. Please, just watch it, all right? It's really fucked up, but just watch it. You will not regret it. Just take my word for it. Whew, all right, there's your answer. There you go. You're welcome, Goji. I did it. I did it for you. Now I gotta edit through all of this and edit through my rambling because, yeah, I sound like a damn weeb. Thank you so much for your question, and you're welcome, Willpower, as well. Now, I pretty much already answered like half of this question, but I'm gonna answer the rest of it. This is from Awesome-tastic, or Mr. Bob is a dude, also known as. They ask, favorite movie and TV show. So I already went down TV shows, but movies. Oh man, this is a tough one. What is my favorite movie? What could it be? Oh man, I don't know how to answer. It's Meet the Robinsons, obviously. I'll get to that more later because I've had some questions about it, okay? Well, we'll get to it. But huge fan of that movie. And I don't know. For me, there's so many good movies out there. They're all just well made. That's all that needs to be said. There's been some movies that stuck out to me as of recently, and I think it's fairly obvious. The Sonic movies are just, they're killing it. I got done watching Sonic 3 4 times since it came out in theaters. I've never gone back and seen a movie that many times. The most has always been like, I've seen the movie twice. But this one, nah, 4 times, baby. It was that good. The best movie I have watched in a long time. All the emotions I want to feel when watching a movie, it's in it. It's up there, but I just love the Sonic trilogy as a whole. It's really good. And also another one that stands out for me that's also kind of recent is the Spider-Verse trilogy that they're doing. I'm still waiting for that 3rd movie. I want it bad. I think we all do. It keeps getting delayed. The Spider-Verse movies have really exceeded my expectations. I'll be honest with you guys. I've never been super into Marvel, but Spider-Verse has changed that. Like, I am so intrigued. So I'm really excited for that 3rd movie. If it ever comes out, we'll see. I don't know. I'm waiting, Sony. Thank you for your question, Awesome-tastic. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now that we're on the topic of movies, this question is from Nobi02. He's a really good friend of mine. Check him out. He's pretty cool. His question is, how did Meet the Robinsons leave such a lasting impact on you? So I'm gonna answer that, but I'm also gonna be answering Zen Dark Dragon because they also asked, how did you get into MTR? And it's kind of almost the same question, so I'll be answering both of you guys. What left an impact on me? Well, let's take the time machine, go way back to when I was like 7, 6, maybe I was 7, I don't know. Now, this was a time in my life where my mom, she was badly sick. She got both pneumonia and lost her eyesight at the same time. She was like bedridden for a good while, and as a kid at that young age, I guess I didn't really truly understand what was going on. It's kind of sad thinking about it now, but my dad, give him props because he did look after my brother and I, and he came back, brought this DVD for us, and it was Meet the Robinsons. I just barely remember us sitting in our living room. We put it in the DVD player. It was me, my dad, my brother watched it together for the first time. And after that, the rest is history. The thing is, it's so far back that my memory is very vivid, but I do know out of our collection of DVDs, I did put that one in the DVD player a lot. I think it's a really great message for kids too. Like they say, you let go of the past, keep moving forward. That stuck with me for a long time now. Whenever I'm in a bad spot, I watch that movie and I remind myself, like, you know, things will get better. Keep moving forward, especially nowadays. I do have to say, once my mom got better, she must have, I don't even remember sitting down watching it with her, but she must have like seen a bit of it. She would make fun of me to the ends of the earth about how I had a giant crush on Wilbur Robinson. I know when I was a teenager and stuff, she would bring that up. She's like, don't think I forgot about your first crush being Wilbur Robinson. And I'm like, Mom, stop, please. But nowadays, I embrace it. I'm like, yeah, my first crush was Wilbur. What was yours? Edward from Twilight? Oh, disgusting. Now that I'm an adult woman, I can no longer legally have a crush on him because he's like Ash Ketchum. He doesn't age. So he is now my son, if anyone asks. Yeah, I got really fond memories of that movie. And don't worry, there's a lot more I'm gonna explain in this next question. I hope you're ready for. This rabbit hole goes deep, man. So thank you for your questions, Nobi and Zen. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. So the next question is from another enthusiast named Leah, and she asks me, what first motivated you to write MTR Time Will Tell and to create the character of Topaz? Girl, you are playing with fire right now. Everybody buckle up, we're in it for the long run. If you want to know the impact MTR has left me, Time Will Tell is it. That'll tell you everything. Where do I begin? Well, I have to say, back when we were really young, I think we're all very guilty for this. Like, you love a movie or a TV show so much, and then you make up your own ideas for a story. You have your own OCs and stuff like that, and it's very nonsensical. That's how it started out, okay? That's how the story really started out. I think around that time, around that age, is where I really started to find my spark for storytelling. And I've come up with, trust me guys, I have so many ideas flowing through this brain of mine, it's ridiculous. But this one was kind of shoved in the dust for a while. And then, I don't know, over the course of years, I mean, I would sometimes go back, watch the movie. I would see the movie being brought up again somewhere. It would remind me of, oh yeah, I had this idea back then. No, for damn sure I made it. I came up with this idea because deep within, I kind of wanted a sequel. And I mean, Meet the Robinsons is something where it doesn't necessarily need a sequel, but there's so much you can do with the setting and the characters. Like Lewis says, the possibilities are endless. Subconsciously, my brain would turn back onto that idea. And I just started coming up with like more ideas for it and really changing the plot of the story too. Like from what it originally was. I think I need to make a whole nother video explaining that. It's a long process. I developed it for like about a decade, let's say, from where I first came up with the idea. It's really changed over the course of time, like drastically. You wouldn't even recognize it. And the ideas were just so good. This is coming from somebody with really low self-esteem. The ideas were so great, where I'm like, why am I just sleeping on this? Why haven't I put this out there? And that's when a couple years back, I started cracking down on it. I especially started cracking down on it, I think like towards the end of 2023, where I was just determined to get the story out there. I had released Aerodynamics and I was like, I need to make a second story. I can't sit still with this one idea. And I started working hard on it. I did a lot of research on the movie, the video game, even the children's book it's based on. Like, I did my homework because I wanted to deliver a good story for you guys, and I wanted it to feel faithful to the original source material. Do I think this is the type of sequel the creators would have in mind? Probably not. But is it a bad idea? No, absolutely not. It is probably one of the best brainstorming ideas I have had since I can recall. There's a lot of original stories I have in mind too, don't get me wrong, but when it comes to like fan projects, something that's based on something that I love, this one takes the cake. I'm very, very connected with Time Will Tell. Now, in the regards to the female character Topaz that a lot of people think of as my self-insert, well, you're right, but also wrong. I'll just try to cut it short without spoiling the story for anyone. Topaz, what I can recall was there's always been a female character for this idea. And back then, she didn't even, I don't even think she had a name. Not that I can recall. I kind of just say, yeah, she was probably just a self-insert. I think out of everything I've done, everything that I've been working on behind the scenes, I don't think there's a single character that went through the craziest development process like Topaz did. Same thing with the story itself. You just would not recognize her if you knew the kind of character she was back then. Again, I can't explain it all without it dragging on too long, but what also motivated me with Topaz, I'm gonna be going through some thick waters right now. How do I say this? Recent films from Disney has a lot of female characters. They try so hard to write these characters as like girl bosses and oh, so independent, they don't need a man or whatever, like, you know. It kind of rubs me the wrong way. I think they focus on that so much where they ruin the character, you know? So Topaz, she's gonna be a character that really, how do I put this? Oh my gosh. Topaz is my interpretation of a strong female character that people, especially girls, can look up to. I think anyone can look up to, honestly. It doesn't matter what gender you are. I mean, she's a great character. I really want her to stand out, and it's kind of my way of saying to Disney, like, stand back. This is how you write a female character, okay? She's not the main character. The main character is Wilbur, but she is like how Lewis was the main character, and I can't think of the word right now, but Wilbur is like second to main character, right? Now it's the other way around. Now Wilbur is the main character, and then Topaz is the second to main character. I call myself a writer, and I can't think of it. And I think Topaz is very special, especially to the world of Meet the Robinsons. I'm like, if I'm gonna insert new characters into the story, I need them to be good. I need them to really flesh out the world of MTR. I think that's what Topaz does, along with some other characters, but Topaz she's very important to the story. I rewrote her like crazy to the point where I finally captured it. I finally got the character I want in the story. Now, she's not a self-insert of how she once started. I do say that I connect with her a lot, especially emotionally, but we are two separate people, if that makes sense. Let me kneel down and simp for a second. Some of that motivation with Topaz I did get from director Steven Anderson with his connection with Lewis. It made me feel less ashamed to kind of put my own emotions into a character. You know, every time you make like a character that's very similar to you as a person, people will say, oh my gosh, so it's like a Mary Sue or something like that. It gets to your head, but you gotta shove that away. You can't think about that very much. Just focus on, you want to make a good character that has flaws but has beauty like you do as a person, right? That's something you gotta focus on. And I put so much love and care into Topaz. I especially love the relationship she has with Wilbur. I think it adds more to the story. It adds more to these characters. Like, there was something, now I probably can't say it word for word, but it was something like how they described Wilbur and Lewis's dynamics. Wilbur is in the driver's seat and Lewis is in the passenger seat. So when it comes to Wilbur and Topaz, what I personally love about their dynamic, they're both fighting for that wheel in the driver's seat, you know? They're just I love it. I think it adds more to Wilbur, how he's kind of a leader type. So is Topaz. And, oh gosh, I can't. I can't explain it. It's too much. But yeah, again, the impact Meet the Robinsons left for me is in this story. It's all written out, and I hope that if you get around to reading it, I hope you can connect with it. I hope it touches your heart in a way that it's touched mine. Like, I just want to deliver a good story. I still root for a true sequel for Meet the Robinsons. Might hurt a little bit after how much heart I put into this thing. I think it would make for a good spin-off, at least. With the direction of the story, I have it all planned out beginning to end. It could make a good spin-off, if I'm being honest. So, like, you know, maybe one day me and Steven, we can have a cup of coffee, we can have a chat and be like, hey, why don't we make a little spin-off series, alongside your sequel? I mean, come on, like... This is coming from somebody who works at a restaurant, living in a trailer home, and just surviving for her life. I don't know. We'll see. But either way, even if this stays as some fan fiction on the web, I treat this story like it's my baby. I treat the characters like they're my children, and I put them through really horrible things because that's how much I love them. No, I'm just kidding. Half kidding, to be exact. Time will tell, Topaz, all of the characters, all of the story. It means a lot to me. It really does. It's a part of me. So I appreciate anyone who supports this journey I'm on, this project I have put a lot of work into. There's weekly chapters going on as I'm recording this, so please check it out. If you haven't, even if you're not that big into Meet the Robinsons as I am, I still recommend it. It's gonna be peak, man. We are going to demolish and plow all of the Wilbur x Violet Parr fanfictions I have come across on this site called Wattpad. We are gonna blow them out of the park, okay? They are going to be crying to their moms. Unless they're all orphans. I'm not gonna ramble on anymore. Thank you so much, Leah, for your question. I'm sorry, I went a little overboard with answering it, but that's to be expected. Like I said, this is a huge passion project that I'm creating. So thank you everyone who supported me. Okay, I spent way too much time on that last question. Let's move on. Daniel SGR Star, hope I didn't butcher your name, says, are you planning to create Wilbur x Topaz fanfiction in the future? I don't know, I guess, time will tell. As they say, keep moving forward. So this question is from my best friend in the whole world, Kiki, and she asks me, what is your favorite and least favorite ship tropes? Example, friends to lovers, enemies to lovers. Good question. So my favorite love trope, this might sound lame, but I really like it when characters fall in love with each other unexpectedly. Maybe that's just from personal experience. JD and I, we have a long history. We started out as just gaming buddies on Minecraft, of all things. Yes, I can now say I have a Minecraft boyfriend, everybody. We were best friends for a good 3 years, and then all of a sudden, we both had feelings. It just blossomed. It was like that stupid trope of like they can't confess or whatever. They're too scared. Like if you confess, you're just gonna ruin it, the friendship you have. But no, that wasn't the case for us. I believe I confessed first, and then right after he said I feel the same way. We're going on like our 6th year together, but something about that just feels so natural. What I can describe is you pretty much meet your significant other unexpectedly. That's how it always works. You don't find love. Love finds you. Seeing that play out in stories, you can interpret that in so many different ways, and it just works. It's very natural, and I really just like the simple romance. That's all it is. As for my least, obviously the opposite. Love at first sight. Come on. How cliche can you get? Like, why? I don't really have to go into much detail for that. You just know. It is just like a really what the heck. A lot of Disney princesses pulled it off somehow, but I don't know how. They just... magic, I guess. Thank you for your question, Kiki. Love ya. No homo. I'm just kidding. I specifically asked everyone 1 question per person, but you all piled it on into 1 comment. It's more than 1 question. You have disobeyed the direct orders I have given you. What is wrong with you? But I'm still gonna answer this because it's still intriguing. This is a question from Chisa, and she's named Happy Meal right now. I expect her to change her name a lot. She can change her name into something so weird, and I will automatically know it's her. So this is a little similar to Leah's question, just a little bit. What is your motive creating your OCs and fan fiction? How did you plan to brainstorm these ideas, and how did you feel about the results in general? Oh boy. I don't know. To be honest with you, I think I just have it in me. Now, most people think that my inspirations come from books. No, mine come from a lot of movies and shows. Believe it or not, I used to really hate reading when I was a kid. And now that's changed as I got older, but I really regret neglecting books as a kid. Like, that was just awful of me to do. Don't be a Jen. A lot of the things that I watch something and I'm like, that worked. How can I do that too? When you're making characters and stories, you want it to appeal to a wide audience. Don't just think about, oh, what would I want? While you're thinking about what you want, also think about what everyone else would want too. Something that would be good for you and them. When I have a good concept in mind, whether it be with fan fiction or something original, I just keep kind of experimenting with it in my head. I don't write it out right away. I try to develop like a key beginning to ending, some stuff in between, kind of keep the story interesting, the pace going, have everything make sense, everything add up. I keep brainstorming and brainstorming until when I think I finally know how I want the story to play out. I know the character connections, I know how the story should go, I know what should happen, then I'm gonna start writing it, just like I did with, well, I would say aerodynamics, but I don't exactly have an ending in mind. I mean, I do, but I don't. I don't know how I'm gonna reach that point, but I'm just gonna keep going. But for Time Will Tell, flipping back at that, I had to create a beginning and end. It always depends on the story, and once I'm confident with what I have, that's when I put it out there. For the results, I mean, so far, I've gotten some pretty decent results, especially with Time Will Tell. Aerodynamics is sadly not doing so great. Not as much as I was hoping. At least Time Will Tell. I think I'm a little more passionate with that one from how much longer development it's had compared to aerodynamics. What I love seeing the most is like hearing people's thoughts. When people comment their overall thoughts, they're trying to theorize what's gonna happen next, and oh my gosh, they're like getting so into it. It makes me so happy. Reading comments, people's reviews on it is the best kind of results. So far, I've gotten no hate comments, which I'm surprised. I expected at least 1 or 2 haters at the start. None of that yet. And even if they do, depending on what they say, I take criticism. I can take it. But again, you look at the stuff that you love, you kind of study it to where you want to do something similar, but in your own way. Obviously, you don't want to copy off of them, but it will open more ideas for how you want to tell your story. My answer was kind of all over the place, but thank you for your question, Chisa. So another great and supportive friend by the name of Sora the Wonder asks, favorite music background noise to listen to while writing? May I say, that is an excellent question. All right, I'm gonna go throw myself in the garbage. I'm sorry. So I have playlists on my YouTube. They're private, so you can't see them, but I do put them on shuffle, and they make for good background noise. Now I know I'm gonna sound even more like a weeb, but I have a playlist of Japanese music that's full of 800 songs. And yeah, I jam out to that. I try to keep the volume not too loud, a little quieter so I can still focus. I gotta put a lot of focus when I'm writing. I gotta find the right words. I like keep going back and forth, reading it out loud to myself, just kind of hear how it sounds. But having some kind of background noise like music, it does help. There's a lot of really good bands and singers from Japan. I listen to Lisa, One OK Rock, Otto. There's a lot of them. The list goes on. But I do have, since these are 2 stories I have out right now, for aerodynamics, of course, I gotta put on the Splatoon music to kind of get the Splatoon vibes, to kind of merge into their world. I do have a playlist, but it doesn't have all the songs, and I'm so lazy to just go hunt around and save all the songs into this playlist. So I look at other people's playlists and I shuffle them, and then when it comes to Time Will Tell, it's a mixture. I have a playlist that is labeled Time Will Tell. So it has, of course, Meet the Robinsons soundtrack. I also listen to a lot of Rob Thomas, and he did the song Little Wonders that plays at the end of the movie. I was listening to more of his songs, and you might call it like a calling from Christ. His songs connect so perfectly with my characters and overall story that it's scary. There was one song in particular called Someday that I listened to before I even released my story, and I think, oh shoot, I should have added that with the motivation question. Oh Missed opportunity. His song Someday connected with me so much. It reminded me so much of Time Will Tell. It basically told me, you can do this. I don't know how to put it. It was so freaky, but awesome. I listened to more of his songs and they just connect well. I kind of use him as a reference. A lot of Time Will Tell, believe it or not, is inspired by a lot of music. I hate to admit this too, I wasn't going to, but one of the earliest inspirations for Time Will Tell is an anime called Sword Art Online. I know, Goji, you're probably watching, you're probably throwing up right now because you hate Sword Art Online so much, but hear me out. I don't know what inspired me through that, but maybe it was just like that the story takes place in the future itself, and I really like the sci-fi futuristic aesthetics that come out of it. The music too. If you listen to some of the songs that come from that show, they're in Japanese. You gotta look up the translations. They connect, and I mean an ungodly amount. Was it intentional? It was so far back, I can't even tell you. There's a lot of like SAO OSTs on there. The music that plays throughout the episodes I have in there. Some of the songs kind of help me really start to imagine the scenes that I'm writing out. Otherwise, music is music. I'll listen to anything really, as long as it keeps my brain moving, it keeps my hands typing away. Yeah, so thank you for your question, Sora. Sorry for it being complicated. Next question comes from Stricket Tub. Hope I didn't butcher your name. I'm sorry. They ask, hello, I would like to know what inspired you to begin writing. As a fellow writer myself, I'm always interested in kind of origin stories of sorts. I realize now that my answer might be a little similar to what I gave Chisa. Again, movies and shows really did it for me instead of books somehow. I've always been so fixated making up these stories that can have a mixture of like real life elements or just imagination. It's so amazing what you can do. Endless possibilities. Back in the day, I did want to start out with comic books, but then, I mean, I draw too, but it takes a lot out of me. I'm not the best artist. I'll get to that in another question coming up in a little bit. I thought of trying other things, but it was like always, my passion really is with telling stories, with writing. I love it. I love it so much. I sound like the biggest, most utterly hopeless nerd right now. This is ridiculous. All I can really say is like all my life, looking back all my life, I've had it in me. I feel confident enough to say that it's just always been with me. And the moment I realized it was where I was like, you know, this is what I need to do. This is the path I want to walk on, is with writing stories. My brain is constantly, and I mean constantly, in writer's mode. I'm always just in the zone, thinking up ideas. It's a blessing, but a curse at the same time. But that's all I can really say is just, I one day decided I love storytelling so much that I want to just pursue that, even at my own pace. I'm not in college or anything like that. Sometimes I wish I was, but I think writing is something that you can do on your own pace. Maybe a little bit of education could help, but I feel like if you really set your mind to it, really put the work in, you can do it. If you want to call it an origin story, I guess that's all I can really offer. Like I've just been like this for forever. So thank you so much for your question. This is a question from Dry Dark Spirit, and he asks, what's your favorite Sonic game? I don't really know. On the day of recording this, I have Sonic X Shadow Generations, but I have not played it yet. Who knows when I'm gonna play it after recording this, but will that become my favorite? Maybe. Otherwise, I mean, Frontiers was like when I truly started playing Sonic. I loved Sonic all my life, but I think most of it was just, it was from Sonic X I grew up with. I used to watch like the game cutscenes and stuff like that on YouTube, and I was really more into the characters and lore than anything. And then I finally got around to playing Sonic games. I'm pretty late with it, but Frontiers, I guess, would be my favorite because it's one that I've actually played the most of. I don't know, I don't really particularly have a favorite. I just like Sonic, dude. Just a cool character. I just like all the characters. Thank you for your question. Kitty Backpack asks, do you like SNES games? Yeah, I do. I did grow up with the SNES, even though I couldn't play games as a kid. I'm sorry, I didn't know what I was doing as a kid. But the one that stood out to me the most, and it got a remake last year. No, was it last year? No, it was the year before, wasn't it? Oh my gosh, time flies. Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. That is awesome. I love that game. I didn't know how to play video games at that age. I was trash. I was dog shit. But yes, I do like SNES games, and I'll have to play some more sometime. I mean, I got it on my Switch. Yes, we have the stupid membership deal. It's awful, isn't it? Little side story here. My friends and I thought it'd be wise if we get the $80 family plan, but we all split the cost, so it's all $10 each. We abuse the system like that. That's right. So yeah, I gotta touch more SNES games. Maybe I'll do a stream of that in the future. Who knows? Thank you for your question. This is a question from Super Sunshine 27 Deluxe. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD is right around the corner. Are you planning on getting it? I know. I've never really been that into Donkey Kong, to be honest. The last time I remember playing a Donkey Kong game was Donkey Kong Country on the SNES, speaking of which. And that was when I didn't know how to play video games. What happened in that game? I just thought it was very humorous, like dying. And then the game over screen was just really haunting, but I adored it. I don't know. I was a strange kid. It carried on. It carried on to my adult self. I especially thought it was humorous when we would go, I forgot what even happened. Like, I guess we would go the wrong way or something, and then Donkey Kong would shake his head, or Diddy Kong would stomp on his hat. I don't know. That's all I remember of Donkey Kong. Otherwise, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get Donkey Kong Country Returns. I don't know. It's not my favorite platform in gaming, just being honest. But thank you for your answer. So we have a question from Angelic of Seasons. How does it feel knowing that some of us still remember you firstly from Miiverse? Oh, also, oh my gosh, Jen! Oh my gosh! Angelic of Seasons! For anyone who doesn't know, Angelic comes to my live stream chat all the time and says, oh my gosh, Jen. That's how she addresses herself in the chat. So, oh my gosh! Angelic! What's up? Anyways, flipping back. Yeah, how do I feel that some of you still remember me firstly from Miiverse? Get that memory out of your head, please. I was, what, 14, 15, 16, and that was an era of my life where it is ultra mega cringe, so please, forget about me. Okay. But no, what I should really be saying is thank you for sticking around and watching me go through character development. You guys are very dedicated to keep following me, so I appreciate it a lot. But Miiverse, yeah, it can stay in the dumpster fire, please. I'm having PTSD, chat. I don't know how I feel. Oh wait, I'm not live streaming. Why am I saying chat? So now we have a question from Jojo123 or Jojo WizKid123, something like that. With regards to your art, what's your biggest influence in terms of creativity? Well, judging by my art style, good old anime. Jen, you're such a weeb. What is wrong with you? Oh my god. Oh my god. I always loved art as a kid as well. I don't share it as often as I do with writing, and I don't draw as much as I used to, though I'm trying to get back into it. I'm really trying. Again, flipping back to the PMV, I'm gonna be drawing as much as I possibly can. I hope you watch that video when I release it, because you better enjoy it. I'm putting a lot of effort into it. Ever since I was small, I love drawing. Now, I know I was homeschooled my whole life, but I was involved in homeschool groups, and I knew some kids from there, and I do remember there was a time when one of them wanted to do a little fun drawing contest, and first person she asked was me, like right away, right off the bat, like, oh my gosh, you should draw, you should enter in this little contest I'm doing. I'm like, okay. But, and I mean, a lot of people from way back know that I love art. And then as I reached my anime arc, I took a lot of inspiration for the style of anime, and now I see that everyone had the same idea, and I'm not special. I'm so used to getting dunked on about it. Everyone dunks on, oh, it's just the same old anime style, blah, blah, blah. I'm just kind of used to it. I'm not gonna change my style, probably. I'm gonna keep with it, because I'm just comfortable with it. I think it's really pretty to draw. I don't really care who says what. That was where I really unlocked my art style. This is really unfortunate to admit. I kind of look at everybody else's art, and then I shouldn't do this, but I compare mine. I'm like, wow, mine is just garbage. But I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't do that to myself. I should take notes from Bob Ross, okay? Everybody's Lord and Savior, Bob Ross. My art might not ever be perfect, but at least it's not AI. Though I have to admit something, I still use vases for hands. Why do hands have to be so complicated? Yeah, that's my answer. Thank you so much, Jojo. Thank you so much, Jotaro Dio. I'm sorry, my weeb is coming out again. I'm sorry, I'll hold back. Now to answer KSH or Kish. I don't know. I know I got one of them right. I'm sorry. Do you like cheese? Show us your cheesy collection. If not, why not? Listen, I know I'm in Wisconsin, but believe it or not, I don't have the biggest collection of cheese. I kind of live by myself, and cheese, you know, goes moldy. So I kind of keep like the bare minimum. So I'm just gonna take a picture of what I have in my fridge currently. There's the cheese. There you go. It's on screen. You're welcome. That's my cheesy collection, if that answers your question. Thank you so much to you. We're asking the more important questions now. Okay, we're down to the last one. And this comes from Shadow Mewtwo. It's a pretty serious question. Are you sure you want to work with Disney? At the current state they're in, they would probably tell you to add unnecessary propaganda and ask you to rewrite your story to better fit what they want in your film. I don't know how to answer this. Maybe I should ask Kawa for help. Hey, Kawa, you think I should work for Disney?
Hell no.
If I'm being perfectly honest to you guys, I don't really like where Disney's at the moment. Now, I know I meme a lot being like, oh, Disney's too scared to hire me. They know I'd write the perfect movie, which I could be right. But I am just joking around, honestly. Anyone who takes me seriously, I mean, what is wrong with you? I would love to, but at the same time, I don't know if I should. It really depends on what they're offering. If let's say, hypothetically, the chance ever would arise, and I would be offered a position. Would I take it? I don't know. I couldn't say. It depends on what they would offer me. That would be frustrating if I had to rewrite my story, but if I'm helping on somebody else's movie and writing a story for that, it might be a little different. Like my own personal projects, it's different. It has to go the way I want it, right? But if I'm working on somebody else's movie, should I argue? I mean, if I have to rewrite it, I'll just go with what they give me and then do the best I can. Like you said, the way where Disney's at right now, it's a big yikes. It's a big, I don't know. If they can put themselves back together, then maybe I'd be more open to the idea. I'm gonna say this once, and then I'm never gonna say it again. I am a pretty big fan of Elioli, and shoot, I should have talked about them in some of the previous questions. They did help motivate me. Seeing their fan work, I'm like, wow, you know, they could do it, so can I. They could do it better though, I'm just saying. But I'm just saying, like, it helped. They did bring up at one time, like, potentially, if they got enough support, they could try to pitch for an animated series for Meet the Robinsons. I said I was half joking, but I think there was more than half of truth when I said I would love to help write the episodes. If you would have me, I would do it. And knowing Meet the Robinsons is owned by Disney, like, I would have to work under them if I were to do it. I mean, I don't know. I can't say right now. I don't know. If I had the opportunity to help the original director, if Elioli was on board, like, I would be down for it. Trust me, I would. It's a really hard yes and no. Chances are it'll have to stay a no. Disney, get your shit together. I can't take it anymore. What is this Snow White? What happened what did you do to the 7 Dwarfs? What is going on with this movie? What is with your direction? It is eating me up alive. Okay, that's it. That's all I got. Thank you for your question, Shadow Mewtwo. I tried to answer it best I could. It's a yes and no. Probably leaning more towards a no, but we'll see. I don't know what the future holds. It is a mystery. So keep moving forward, right? Whew, okay, I can't believe I answered all of them. Thank you everyone for your questions. So this was supposed to be for a 500 subscriber special, but maybe we can do this some other time again, you know? That would be fun. It would be nice. So yeah, thank you again. Just like the live streams, I am bad with outros. You can keep up with my live streams, you can read my stories, and I'll leave my other stuff in the description. Thank you so much. Again, I've said thank you like 1,000 times, but really, that's how appreciative I am of you. I will see you when I see you. I am going to now devour the cheese that I have shown you. I'm gonna eat that whole block of Swiss cheese, and I'm gonna be constipated. All right, I'll see you in the next one, guys. And as always, I hope you enjoy. Does he say it like that? I feel like I messed it up. You know what? Whatever. Bye-bye! That was Markiplier. All right, bye.
Why?
I don't know. What?
Why that came out? Okay, I get it. Okay. Meet the Robinson, made by Disney, all right? We all had that dream to work for Disney. Every artist do. But you know what they're doing right now? Like, okay, you work for Disney. Let's put it that way.
Uh-huh.
All your characters, Topaz, for, you Meet the Robinsons, they make a sequel. Well, sucks on you. Topaz is no longer yours. They're like, it's ours now. So if they want to make Topaz gay, all right, you're going to have to make Topaz gay. You can't do anything about it. If they want to make her lame, they're going to make her lame. They'll be like, oh, hold on, she's a little bit too strong-headed. Let's give her some bit of weakness, all right? Because she needs to fit the, let's make her a Disney princess. We're going to make her useless, all right? Put the guns away. Guns are too much. It's against the terms of service for kids. Of CADA, of what were you going to call it? What do you want to call it?
But wouldn't they want, like, a girl boss like they did with Snow White?
They're gonna make her ugly. All right? Just like a Snow White, to the point where it's like, man, I think we side with the villains because the heroine is a fucking dumbass.
Are they... I can't even say... Are they gonna cast Nicki Minaj and give her, like, an orange wig?
That's another thing. They're gonna make her black. Imagine Toba, but she's black. They didn't change the eyes, they didn't change the hair, no.
This is coming from a
black
dark
skin now. This is coming from a black woman herself, and this is what I see from Disney. Actually, imagine Topaz in 3D, and she's black. Probably with curly,
no, dreadlocks.
Orange hair. Brown dreadlocks with, like, orange tips, because clearly they act like they don't have the money to give her an actual haircut.
Wait a minute, so she gonna look like Nezuko?
The black Nezuko, but she's gonna be more girl boss than a bitch. No one's gonna like her. Like, you made Topaz likable in the story. No, they're gonna flip that over. They're gonna turn her into what they did with Steve from Minecraft.
Oh my god.
And you as the creator or the artist be like, this is not according to the scripts, and they'd be like, well, fuck you. This is what makes us money. We must go woke. We must woke up.
We must go woke.
They're gonna look at your story and just like, this is against the rules. All right. This is not enough girl boss. We need to make what's his name?
Wilbur?
Yes, Wilbur. I don't know how I keep forgetting his name. You just keep saying his name over and over again. We're gonna make Wilbur as some femboy.
Why?
That's what I do!
Steve, do you approve of this?
Steve Addison, my man, do you approve of this? Because I bet you'd be like, hell to the fuck no. Maybe that's why there's no sequel. Because maybe that's why there's no sequel for Meet the Robinsons, because Disney has went to a deep hole of no return. They're rock bottom.
Oh my gosh.
At this point, you might as well wish there's no sequel.
Walt did not die for this.
Walt Disney didn't die for this. He'll be looking up from heaven and be like, what the hell?
Looking up from heaven? You mean looking down? Wait, is heaven underneath us?
People treat hell like it's heaven. Wow, that's gonna be a Disney movie.
Oh my gosh, shut up.
It's like, man, screw the Christians. We should celebrate hell.
What the fuck
we get rid of the mouse too, so it's like there's no hope.
Wait, what happened to the mouse?
I think what is that? I think it's the original Mickey Mouse. They're like, we don't own this anymore.
Oh, you
Like,
mean Steamboat Willie or something? Is that what it's called?
I think the first Mickey, they're like, nah, we don't own them. We don't own that anymore. He's part of the what is it? They're part of the bad people. All right, we don't want that here. Not in this day and age. We don't want that. We're gonna keep the recent Mickey. Maybe we don't want the mouse anymore. Let's get rid of everything that represents Disney. How about that? I'm still mad they didn't make Kita from Atlantis a Disney princess. I'm still have beef with that.
Yeah.
Don't work with Disney. You're gonna regret it. All right. You're gonna be working like working like a slave in Pal World. All right.
What?
Yes.
Wait. Wait a minute.
I'm being for real. You're gonna be working like a slave, like in Pal World.
Wait. Oh, you mean me?
Yes. If
Shit.
you work with Disney,
Shit.
they're not gonna pay you enough.
Oh my
They're gonna expect you to write and draw everything. Because they don't have enough animators. They keep firing their animators.
But what if hypothetically I go on board with Steve and Elioli, then what?
And you might as well take the position of CEO to make that dream come true.
What?
You had to be the CEO of this thing.
Oh my gosh! Oh my goodness! I'm gonna. What should I do? Where do I start?
So you get the gun. So you purchase a gun. That's step 1. Step 2, you figure that out.
What the fuck? Bob Edgar, where are you?
Because whoever is leading this, they don't know what they're doing. I don't know Disney anymore. I bet if I go to Disney World, it's not Disney anymore. I don't know what it is. They keep making changes, trying to appease people, and it's not appeasing anyone. You're just pissing people off.
Let's just say it's a world. It's a park.
It's just a park. It's a world. It's a park. It's just Florida. Or California.
It's just Florida and California. That's all it is, guys.
That's all it is.
So wait, are people gonna take this clip and say that I'm threatening Bob Iger's life? Am I under arrest?
No. Look, I don't wish death upon people, but dude, you know how it's like, dude. If I had to say something to the CEO, look, you gotta remember your fans who are older. I'm talking about the moms. Are batshit crazy, okay? The OG adult fans are batshit crazy. You might as well get this shit right, or else one of the motherfuckers are gonna be like, "All right, you've crossed the line. Something needs to be done."
Oh my gosh.
All right, I don't wish death upon people, but I'm just gonna let you know your fans are crazy. Have you been to Disney World? Has the CEO been to Disney World? I want to know.
I've never been to Disney World.
There are batshit crazy people in there. Crazy moms, crazy dads.
Oh
the kids are alright. Somewhat.
Did they dye Cinderella's hair blue?
Who knows? They might. She's going... No, what they're going to do is that they're going to cut her hair and dye it.
But...
With no makeup. And they're going to add more muscle.
Whoa! She built.
Go build her up. It's like, yeah, strong princess.
She needs slippers. She needs slippers made of stone, not glass.
Wear tennis shoes, man. All that running she has to do. Motherfucker, the cat's all the way to her house. And they're gonna be like, well, yeah, we gotta give her tennis shoes, still heels. Glass tennis shoes, guys. Imagine that.
Imagine she's running and then they shatter.
I'm just thinking the Broadway Cinderella. You see the running, you see collapse, you just see clash.
I'm not sure if we're terrible people or it's the other way around.
For being honest. That's how you criticize. Be honest.
Pretty
We're being just like gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, we're being a little bit too weak. Be honest. Be brutally honest. I gave Jen my brutal honesty when she asked me that question, and I said, "Hell to the fuck no." Because you might, like I said, you might as well just become a pal. You might as well become a pal from Pal World.
Oh
Work you to death for like pennies.
Well, there you go, folks. There's your answer.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Thank you.
Nice having you.
ありがとうございます。